This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure. And I got a little video to share with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and share this about 45 seconds. So I'm probably going to let it run twice so you can actually see it. Maybe I'll let it run 3 times. Maybe not. I don't know. But if you've got little kids, there's no language. It's just if there's shooting involved. So if you have children or whatever, then you don't want them to see. Like, there's no blood or gore, but you know, there is shooting. So just as a warning. So let me go ahead. Let me share my screen with you guys. We're going to take a look at this, and then I'm going to come back with my perspective.
Right in front of the 12, damn. Right in front of 12. Right in front of 12. I don't want nobody getting hit. Oh, my man so fucked up. They pulled up and started beating on her car with baseball bats, and she got out of street. She was going to pull off and go home, and they just pulled up and started beating on her car. Right in front of the 12, damn. Right in front of 12. Right in front of 12. I don't want nobody getting hit. Oh, my man so fucked up. They pulled up and started beating on her car with baseball bats, and she got out of street. She was going to pull off and go home, and they just pulled up and started beating on her car.
Okay. So I let that run twice, and it was exactly what you think it was. It was women shooting at each other. Black women were shooting at each other. Now, I don't have any background on why they were shooting at each other, but they were busting guns at each other across a parking lot. The tag in the video said it was near a precinct. So, you know, police couldn't have been far away, and they were bold enough to shoot at each other. Broad daylight, could have shot anybody. Who knows what it was for? Who knows the so-called cause of it? But here's the thing. The masculinity is off the charts. How we gonna blame black men for this one, ladies? How we gonna blame? Because there are a lot of female thugs out here now. A lot more than it used to be years ago. Like, you can't trust that these chicks are not out here with a gun, with a strap, ready to blow your brains out over a chipped nail. Who knows? Who knows? We know the volatility and the high chaotic emotion that women have, right? So how we gonna blame black men for this? Because we claim that black women are in danger from black men, but it seemed like to me we're in danger with ourselves, with each other. Because don't forget what that was a month ago, where that woman just walked up to a friend of hers, a woman that she knew personally, and just blew her brains out in front of everybody and casually walked to her car. I did a whole video on that. Is this what this has come to? Y'all the new thugs now? Y'all the new street thugs? Y'all the new ninjas now? Y'all the new gangbangers? We got to watch out for y'all. Y'all perpetuating this nonsense after all of this time, you know what I'm saying, arguing and complaining that men were out here killing each other and black on black crime and all of this other type of stuff. Now you doing it. And you know how it has come about is all of this masculinity. You know, these women been in the streets. They got in the streets trying to sell drugs, trying to do what the men were doing. Trying to do what the men were doing. And the men who were out there in the streets like that, they wasn't doing right. But then you had these chicks that's so enamored of that lifestyle. They enamored of the doughboy. They enamored of the guy that bust guns. They are enamored of all of this stuff without really realizing the gravity of all of this stuff. But then you got women like the one we saw on the video. They should know the gravity. They busting guns at people. They get enamored of this stuff and then they walk out in the street and try to do it too. Because a lot of these girls are out here, you know, slanging them things, I guess you could say. Some of them are gang banging. They banging. It's a lot of female gang bangs, even in Chicago. And some of them are madams. They're trafficking other girls. So don't let that narrative fool you that it's just men that are doing that. It's a lot of women that are involved in it that bring other women into it. As a matter of fact, they're usually the lure to get a girl, to trust her, you know what I'm saying, on some female, we got to stick together type stuff and bring her right into a trafficking situation. She know the outcome of it and put her over there and go back out there and get somebody else. So it's a lot of this underground, nefarious type of situations going on that black women are involved in. That they won't come to social media to tell you that they're directly involved in the gang banging and the drug selling and the trafficking and all of this other type of stuff that they're involved in. To the point where in the middle of the day, they'll get in a parking lot and bust guns. Can we gonna blame black men for that one too? You see what I'm saying? You see how this all comes together and not to mention, these girls are out here mothers. You know they start young. They somebody mama. I bet you anything. One or both of them that was shooting back and forth is somebody's mama. So can you imagine what kind of life them children are having? Because if you are doing that, busting guns in the street, you're not an at-home attentive mother. You running the street. You in the street. The streets have called you and you have heeded the call. So your kids is doing whatever. Your kids is wherever. Whoever got them. These are somebody's mama. So what kind of culture they passing on? You see what I mean by the culture being trash? You see what I'm saying with that? I hope these dots are connecting now. Because what could they possibly be teaching their children that's positive and wholesome? What could they possibly be teaching them? This is the same kind of mother that would no sooner than her son or her daughter really get old enough to get out there and run the streets for her or with her, she'll put them out there. What kind of example is she setting as a mother? You know they somebody mama. Because they always somebody's mama. Whether the children are old enough to understand what's going on or not. It doesn't matter. Somebody looks at her and says, that's my mother. Was out there busting guns like a dude. Like a little thugged out dude. Ready to pull up on somebody and shoot them. All recklessly shooting. It could have hit anybody. Could have hit anybody. How these women raising the next generation? These are the women that are raising the next generation of Black people. And it isn't any wonder we in trouble. And don't nobody want me to speak up and be passionate about what I'm saying. But these are the women with this mentality that's raising children. They raising somebody's kids. These are the same women that somebody needs to take them kids from them because you put them in danger. What if somebody, because these are the same chicks that want to take their kids school shopping tomorrow. After you done bust a gun, jumped in that car. Now your ops know the car. Now you got your kids in the car. Now you want to be a mama today, but your ops is like, not today. We don't care who in the car. We spraying the car, and then your child died. Now you want to be on the news crying about the violence in the neighborhood when you was just busting guns yesterday at that same person. See how convoluted and crazy that is? But these chicks are displaying toxic masculinity now. Toxic masculinity. This is what this is. How did we get here? How did we get here, ladies? How did we get here? How do we get to the point where, come on. This is what happens when the men are gone. This is what happens when you spend decades getting rid of men, getting rid of Black men, getting rid of proper examples of masculinity, getting rid of the people, the very people who could provide some order and some structure and help stop some of this chaos that's going on in our families and in our neighborhoods. This is the result of that. Not respecting, not caring, not trying to have men around that can direct this stuff. Because even when men was heavy doing it, there used to be some kind of order to it. I don't condone gangbanging. Let me just be clear with that. I don't condone that. Right? But when you think back to the 80s, when you think back to the 70s, when you think back, there was at least some type of street code. Yeah, it was grimy, but there was some kind of little code you had. We don't mess with the mamas and the babies, and we don't fool with that. If I got a problem with you, I got a problem with you. If I got a problem with you and your set, I got a problem with you and your set. I ain't got no problem with your kids. Because your kids and my kids probably go to the same school. I ain't got no problem with your kids. But now there's zero code. It's a free-for-all. The same way it's a free-for-all in our households. The same way it's a free-for-all in our neighborhoods and what used to be our communities. This is what happens, ladies, when there are no men. And you can take that or you can leave that. But that's what it is. Because now there's just absolutely no order. None. Nobody there to put a stop to it. The police aren't going to put a stop to it. They're just going to make arrests. But that's not putting a stop to it. That's not putting a stop to the crime. That's not putting a stop to the mentality that leads to the crime. Do you understand what I'm saying? If our men have gone to jail for this kind of stuff, you picked up the mantle and now you a thug? Instead of saying, you know what, I never did like that thug stuff. But you enamored of it because you think it's a game, you think it's a music video. Do you understand the gravity of that? You that casually come try to take somebody's life and you want protection? This is how you would just roll up and just take a sister's life. This was two Black women shooting at each other. So what's that sisterhood? This is how the sisterhood act. When you get mad, just like the video I did where I guess they was mad at each other and one caught her at the intersection, pulled out the car and beat her in front of her two kids with a hammer. That's how we doing sisterhood. That's the sisterhood. Right. Anyway, sound off in the comments section. Let me know what you think about this story. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.